What's up, my dudes? So first of all, let me apologize for my crazy audio levels that I've had on my past few videos. I actually got a new microphone, and it took me a minute to figure out the little settings and stuff on it and trying to get everything perfect. So we should be back to talking smooth as silk, dude. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about MX versus ATV All Out tracks and biomes. So one thing you'll realize, and this is kind of a crazy thing that's just hit me over just the recent past pretty hardcore, is the fact that everything affects everything with everything. And the quicker that you realize that in life, the better off you'll be, because that's almost how every single thing is. Like, whenever you talk about how good something is, it's usually never just because of one thing. It's because of a combination of things. So what do I mean by this? Well, it's the exact same comparison with Call of Duty. Whenever you talk about how your actual kill times are, like how quick you die in the game, and talking about how that affects the gun balance in it. So, like for instance, if you have too quick of a kill time, then you can't even have good gun balance because everything's killing too quick. You know, you can't even have like a gun that shoots quicker but kills slower because everything kills quick. So it's kind of one of those things, like it completely eliminates your gun balance in that sense because your kill time's too quick. And it's the same exact difference between a motocross game whenever you talk about the way your tracks are actually made, because you can have the best physics in the world. That game can be just amazing as far as how the bike rides and all that stuff. But if your tracks don't have different line options and different actual bigger jumps and stuff like that to hit, and it just doesn't feel right as far as how the tracks are actually built, then your game's gonna suck. You know, it has to have like a combination of everything. And what the fuck is this gnat doing flying around my face right now? He's been hanging out for 3 or 4 days now. I don't know if he's got a little family in my keyboard or what's going on, but I can't seem to kill the motherfucker. Why are gnats impossible to kill? I don't know, but either way, get a little bit of a distraction making a video there, but you gotta put in work, dude. That's so funny how, like, with YouTube, you know, you get all these little distractions. It'll be like somebody will be outside mowing. You'll have a gnat flying around your face. It's always something, you know, and it's you that chooses to block out all of that stuff and just do it anyways, you know. You don't let anything slow you down. You don't let anything stop you. And why am I going off into a Spencer Turley, you know, get you in the go mode kind of rant right now? I don't know what I'm doing, but let's get back to topic here, okay? So with the case of MX versus ATV All Out, as far as the screenshots we've seen something that looked kind of like this track right here, you know, a little more tropical, got some palm trees and stuff like that. And we've also seen a kind of a standard pine tree woodland style biome, and we've seen a bit of a Sahara desert biome. So it looks like they're going to have somewhat of a decent variety in the game, but I don't think they're going to go anything extreme. I'm about to case the shit out of that. I don't think they're going to go anything extreme with like a space track or, you know, a Spencer Turley style track, even though I really wish one of these AAA style motocross games would do that. Like, could you imagine a really high detailed, super cool, like moon motocross track or something like that? That would be awesome, man. I can't wait until they get the nuts to actually go in there and start making some, you know, crazier fantasy style tracks, stock tracks within these motocross games, instead of just sticking to that super basic routine, like, you know, desert dune style, woodland, and then winter vibe tracks. Like, that's basically what they stick to pretty hardcore. So now I think with this MX versus ATV All Out, I think there's a pretty good chance they'll have a snow style biome, and then maybe like more of a standard woodland muddy type biome, and that'll be like their 5 different biomes. That's pretty much what I'm predicting so far. We haven't even really seen the tropical biome very good. I mean, it could be one of those things where it's like total clickbait style, like, you know, it looks super cool, but the actual track itself is not that cool at all. Like, you can do that quite a bit whenever you talk about custom tracks or anything like that. You can make it seem really, really cool from the outside and the title of the track and everything, but when you actually get to it, it's not really the biome that you thought it was going to be, basically. Like, you know, you can title something Paradise Motocross or something like that, and then you get on the track and it's like a woodland style, you know, it's nothing to do with tropical paradise or anything like that. Or you can have a track that looks like it has some cool palm trees and shit, and then you get down on it and there's like no water on the track at all. It's like just some palm trees out in a desert dune environment. So there is that slight possibility, but let's just talk about the tracks in general, like the actual designs and stuff like that. One thing that Reflex did really good on their stock tracks is they made it to where there was just like there was a super small line, there was like a mid-style line, and then every once in a while on some of your tracks you would have like a monster-style rhythm. Hopefully their Supercross tracks have enough of a different line option and skill gap to it. You know, you talk about skill gap in a motocross game. Well, if you don't have the tracks built for that certain skill gap, then do you really have a skill gap? Not really. You know, it's a combination of how the bike feels in the corners, how much it slides, how much technique it takes to hook the bike, and how much movement you have on it, and every little aspect affects your skill gap and how the game actually plays. And your tracks are a super big part to that, because that's what you're actually riding on. I mean, it's kind of like the maps in a Call of Duty game. I mean, they make a very big difference, in my opinion, on how it actually affects the entire game in a sense. But more so on a motocross track, though, I feel like the tracks are more important in that sense, though, because they can be so varied as far as, like, I mean, I've seen certain motocross games where there's basically just like there's no rhythms, like there's nothing bigger to hit, there's no different options. It's just like, come around this Supercross corner and hit this big triple, then you come around this other section and it's 9 singles in a row that you just do a triple, triple, triple on, and you can't really hit anything bigger than that. And then you come around another corner and it's a standard whoop section, and then come around another corner and it's a finish line jump, and that's the whole track. Like, there's nothing unique to it, there's nothing special to it. I wish these motocross games would break out of the box a little bit more on their track designs, not just in a biome sense, but in an actual on-track sense. I think that would help them out quite a bit, because you just kind of get tired of that basic layout of some tracks out there. And I feel like Reflex did a really good job of their on-track, stock track style stuff, having differences with it, and every Supercross track felt different. It was memorable. Some of them were super hard. Some of them were more easy and simplistic. I love having that combination in tracks. You don't want every single one of your Supercross tracks to be the same difficulty. You don't want every single one of your motocross tracks to be the same difficulty. You know, you want a good variety in every aspect of the game. Biome design, difficulty of tracks, you know, different on-track styles. It'd be cool to see some hybrid style, like true hybrid motocross mixed with Supercross. I don't know if we're going to be getting that in MX versus ATV All Out, but I mean, that's going to be a big thing they have to try to get right, is making their motocross tracks fun enough to where it's not just a tabletop here and a tabletop there, like actually having some rhythm lines and some roughness and some cool different types of elevation. It'll be cool to see what they come up with on their own unique track designs and stuff, because from what it looks like, it doesn't look like they're kind of like replicating any sort of real life. You know how Reflex sort of replicated Southwick with Sandwick, and it had standard tracks that were almost replicating like a Washougal, and then some other tracks would be replicating like a red dirt style clay track and stuff like that. But with this game, it seems as if anyways that they're kind of going like totally different styles of biome designs and stuff like that. So, but either way, we'll just have to wait and see. I hope that Another big aspect of that, though, is, especially with Supercross, a lot of it depends on how much your jump peaks are, like how much it's actually launching you up in the air, which gives it a difference in feeling of like realistic airtime. You know, that I hope they make it to where it's a little bit bigger scale than what you would call like super realistic, because it is an arcade game and you want it to have that little bit more fun aspect to it. Exactly how Reflex was, like the Reflex triples are a little bit bigger than I would think real life triples would be, and tracks are a little bit wider. It just makes it cool. I hope they have a combination of like different widths of Supercross tracks. That would be cool to see, where it wasn't, you know, everything the exact same width. It's just like different actual jumps. It'd be cool to see just variation in every aspect. I think variation is one of the biggest things to any game out there. You know, that's what makes it last. Like, that's what makes it to where you just you get that feeling of like you're not even playing a video game or something. Like, there's no boredism to it. I don't even know if that's a word, but those games that just had such variation to them, you were constantly doing something different in the game. Nothing felt like anything else, and that's what makes games last. So it's pretty cool. But either way, I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.